Hello, it's the Randy Duck and welcome back for another video. This time we are doing a giveaway video in the Tier 8 American Premium Light Tank, the M41B Brazilian Bulldog. Now, all you need to do to enter the giveaway is, as always, leave a comment with !duck followed by your gamer tag and which console you play on. So that is, leave a comment with !duck followed by your gamer tag and which console you play on. So now let's move on to the replay and we can show you what you could be winning. Okay, so here we are on the first replay on Corellia. We are platooned up with Swindle 321 and Petty 360. Now this Brazil Dog, it's a bit of a weird one because the standard rounds are actually HEP rounds. So they're basically a HE round with 102 penetration for 320 alpha, and then the standard, the premium rounds are heat rounds. So with 250 heat, 240 alpha. So you do often find with this tank, but you have to use the heat rounds quite a lot because obviously the HEP rounds are fantastic when you're fighting like light tanks or leopards, lightly armoured targets like that, because with the quick reload you can really put the work in with that 320 alpha. Like you can kill, you can bully other light tanks in this really well. It is a really good tank at bullying other light tanks. But in the main you can have to quite fire a lot of heat rounds just because the 102 HE HEP rounds isn't going to do it for a lot of tanks. As of all the Bulldogs, it's standard. It is, it's big, it's fat, it's chunky. So it's not the best like light tank. If you like you can spot because it is a light tank. You have the light tank camo. You don't lose concealment on the move, etc. But it is quite a big fat light tank. So it's not like a skinny Vanguard or Falcon or such like that. But here on Corellia, we took the aggressive route to win the hill up the top. And no one's really contested me up until this point where the light tank has come up. And we now got to deal with this light tank because it's obviously going to keep us spotted. It's going to be able to shoot us. But it shouldn't be too easy, difficult to get rid. We should swap to the HEP rounds here because we can easily pen him with the HEP and we would be killing him quicker and getting ourselves more damage. But we don't do that. But we do manage to get rid of the light tank. We've not lost any hit points and we've started to get a bit of damage in. And from this position, because we're uncontested, I think Swindle was, and Petty are sort of keeping the enemy at bay at the bottom of the hill so they can't push up to me. I've actually got free farm here on the enemy tanks which are caught out in the open. And that's kind of the perfect scenario. So I'm just going to keep trying to get my shots in, keep trying to keep stuff light up where I can. Got to be careful where I poke, or obviously I'm going to get, if I do get spotted, there could potentially be a lot of guns looking at me. But there is quite a lot of bushes there. I do manage to spot two tanks there. I actually do get spotted by the Banana Panther there, but we're going to have to risk it to kill the Fun Police because, well, it's the Fun Police. This Earthshaker is now, unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure what he's doing. He's sort of crossing out in the open. We eat one there, so we're trying to get safe because then we're going to try and spot this Earthshaker again because he's stuck in the middle of the map, and we've got easy farms here. We're sheltered from the right, and we just got easy shots. We're going to go for a shot into the track. We do manage to track him in place, but it's just managed to get safe from us behind the buildings. But it's not safe from behind the rock side, but it's not safe from the rest of the team. And we do pick up an extra shot of damage just towards the end. And this game, it's kind of one of those classic example of one of those really quick games where you've just got to really keep the pace up to get the rest of the damage because, we're dominating the enemy team. And now it's just about clean up, trying to get those last bit of damage as you can. So we're going to look to see if we can get a kill. We do get one in, but then he gets taken out by our buddy Swindle in the AMX 5100. And there is only 3 tanks remaining now. This SUTD, he's got shots on us, so we're just going to pull safe behind this rock, and then we're just going to try and go for it because it's all or nothing farm at the moment now. Just trying to get the damage the best where we can. We do manage to pick up the kill. We then got this T77. It could clip us out, but at this point, I just want an extra shot of damage because we're not going to lose this game now. And we've kind of just discovered that they are on reload, so we're just going to sit there, being able to fire our gun. We've got this lot of rock, so we can dart and cover if they start shooting us. But we're looking to try and get a shot here. We're going to aim this one on the lower plate, just about to fire the trigger, and then that panther comes down and blocks our shot, which is a shame because we would have ended up getting a kill had that not happened. But it is what it is. And that brings us an end to the first replay, a very quick replay, but we managed to get 3 kills, 4,000 damage, I think like 3,000 assistance, picking up the ace tanker, and yeah, a 5-minute ace tanker. That is for the first replay. One more to come, so I'll stop rambling and I will see you in a little bit. Okay, so here we are for the final replay on Ellenberg. Now this time is a tier 10 lobby. We are again platooned up with Petty 360 and Swindle 321. Unlike the first replay where, to be honest, we didn't really have to work too hard for our damage. This game, you know, it's a bit more dynamic. It's not as it's not over in 5 minutes, and we get to actually have to try a little bit in order to get the win. So it is encounter, and we're going to go and try and spot the field at the start and see what we can do. You know, we've got Swindle in a TD and the Sturm Tiger, so maybe we spot something, could be able to hit something, and we get a little bit of assistance at the start. Now, although this tank doesn't have the best camo, I mean, it has okay camo, because when you put the camo net on it, I've got down to about 270, so it's not the worst. But what it does have is, actually has really decent view range for a light tank, a tier 8 light tank, and that will help you without spotting the tank. So I've just spotted this heavy. It's in a real awkward position for me, because it's behind the house, and it means that it's kind of stopping me. Yeah, I can't full set it. Well, I can, but it's awkward for me to full send the field at the moment just for spots, because when I get there, that heavy is going to be in a real awkward position for me. We're trying to extend our view range best we can to see if we can spot anything. We do spot this Super Sherman at the back, picking up a little bit of assistance, picking up a little bit of damage. Now, we can obviously pen him with the HE, but the shell velocity from this distance is going to be difficult to hit. And at this point, I'm weighing up. I'm trying to extend my view range the best I can to get spots, but I'm also weighing up going down into the river to try and spot the rest of the team, which is almost certainly camping on the ridge because it's Ellenberg. That's what happens. The problem I've got is that heavy, and that is going to be a problem, but at the moment I want to try and break the game, get a bit of movement in the game, try and do something so we can start moving on. I eat a big shot coming in, which was probably always going to happen. I was going to at least lose some hit points coming in, unless I get lucky, the enemy team misses. Now, this is my problem though. I'm getting all the assistance and now spotting the stuff on the hill. We're camping on a ridge, which is great, but this AMX 60 TP is preventing me going further, because what I'd like to do, if I get rid of this tank, is go underneath their ridge, because if you get underneath their ridge, you can spot everyone up on the hill, and it prevents them using that position. But I can't do anything about that until this AMX 60T is dead, and probably that bat chat to the bat chat to my right, basically, because I need to get rid of those tanks. But fortunately, this 60 is getting pushed by a T57 heavy, so thank you for that, because that has allowed us to move on, which is great. It's exactly what we needed. Now that tank is dead, I'm going to try and see if I can push a little bit further, get that little bit more assistance, like spotting the stuff up at the 60 TP. Couldn't play this position while that other heavy was there, and now that's dead, we can actually try and spot some more tanks. Unfortunately for me, the bat chat is full sending me. Literally, there's no other outcome than death for that tank. Luckily, I bounced a shot, which I'm thankful for, because otherwise I would have died just because the tank decided to throw their tank away to kill me. But luckily, fortunately, luck was with me, and we managed to get out of that one unscathed. And now I'm going to make my play to get underneath the ridge, because there's going to be tanks camping on this ridge. If I get underneath it, it's going to stop them peaking high, and they're going to get spotted, and I'm going to get some assistance there. You see, straight away I spotted 8 tanks. Now, if they stay poking high, I'm going to be able to claim the assistance off of them just like that. I've got Fun Police, and I've also got a lot of guns behind me. One of them being Petty. We know he's going to hit his shots, and hopefully we can pick up some assistance. This E100, we actually are managed to get unlit here before we shoot, and with the heat shells, we're not going to struggle to go through the lower plate when he's completely front on like that. So we're going to keep poking this ridge just like this to get the assistance. When we lose our spot, we are going to go for a cheeky shot on this even 100, try and make him back off of that ridge. And yeah, I'm not overly concerned about the cap at the moment. It's still 2 minutes in the clock and it's on a counter. It's going to be difficult for them to cap out anyway, because our heavy's now coming in the cap, and I need to keep poking here to stop them getting actually shot at. So already we had a decent game. We've got 2,000 damage, 3,600 assistance, and the enemy team, they're not liking me being in this position, because like I say, I keep them lit up, keep them spotted. They might get shot by the fun police. If they then just do try and push over to kill me, I've got enough guns to actually, you know, to cover me, and they're going to lose their tanks for it basically. But this 50 TP is looking for shots, so I've got to be a little bit careful of that. Again, there's still 1 minute on the clock. I'm still not massively concerned that we're getting capped out, because our friendly teams are making their advance into the cap. It's a counter, so as soon as one person gets in, it's going to stop the cap circle. But now it looks like the team have had enough, and it looks like they're actually going to full send Petty. So I'm going to look to try and help them out where I can. It's getting full set by 50 TP in the SU. So we get one into the 50 TP. Now I need to help him with this SU. I'm trying to get the kill shot to stop him taking any damage, and we just managed to finish that one in. And yeah, and I think Petty managed to come out of that unscathed, which is great. Now I need to try and help with this 50 TP where I can. But I've got to be careful because there's a charioteer, so I can't poke too high. So I'm going to try and stay under that ridge. Give me that little bit of cover and see if we can go in and finish this 50 TP in. We get one shot in with the help of our friendly heavy tank there, and now it's just this chieftain to contend with. And what we're going to do, obviously the chieftain, I'm on 2-shot too, so we're going to look for a better angle to get the shot in. See if we can get one in the side. He's turning his gun, but we get one in now. Now he's a 1-shot. Hopefully he can get finished off by Petty. And I'm going to look to see if we can get any other assistant, any more damage, because now our friendly team are capping, and I'm kind of just begging that they don't stay in the cap circle, because there's still 5 tanks remaining, and the last thing I want is just to be capped out now. We're having a good game, but thankfully someone either gets a reset in on an enemy team or they get out the cap, which allows us to get a bit more damage. I did actually swap to the het round, to that charioteer, but we swapped back now to the heat because that charioteer is gone. But yeah, it's a race against time now, because in 20 seconds we're going to cap out, and it's a shame because we could have a lot more damage. We're going to try and get one into chieftain. Unfortunately, he turns, and obviously we've got the heat round, so it just gets absorbed into the side armour. But it does get taken out by Petty, and there's only 5 seconds left on the clock, so we've just got to wait. There's one more shot into the light. And it is a shame we capped out, because there was a lot more damage I could have gone and got out of this game. I know there's only 2 tanks left, but they weren't that far away from me. But you know, what are you gonna do? Someone's sitting in the cap circle, and there's, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. So that is the end for the final replay. See, we've got 3,000 damage, 4,000 assistance. We only got the first class, but Petty did go on and have a really good game, you know, by herself as well, over 5,000 damage in the mutts, which is a really lovely game. And that is it. So yeah, just remember, please leave a comment with your gamer tag and !duck and which console you play on for a chance to win the giveaway. And yeah, as always, happy tanking.
Hadouken!